My never say ma PENDREAM TV there or share them yopo. Now mommy and editorial of the day. Editorial has got to do with the special prosecutor. Now special prosecutor internet then you waha. Now the waha nyina say yati special prosecutor Alfred Professor Frimpong Boateng eba in office and also watch no. I couldn't tell watching is also Frimpong Boateng report or the command another Dankwa Akufo-Addo for 2 years. Sa 2 years no. Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo amfa nye dwuma bia no. Professor Frimpong Boateng Etro come Akufo-Addo and the special prosecutor mom say Frimpong Boateng mom na ye bone. Enti watch Frimpong Boateng. Na edie no gina so che Frimpong Boateng o see yes, our document now from Paul Boateng and Kasa Troy, the expose about Munipano. Or no special prosecutor, what kind Sacratano. Na Sacratano, no kind, where who say Professor from Paul Boateng Edibone. Gabi Asochidakon, Eddie from Paul Boateng court. Captain Koda, Eddie from Paul Boateng court. Abrantia way, and so Eddie from Paul Boateng court. Yet Professor Kwam, or no so SU from Paul Boateng. Last week, me say the strategy now is they all want to come and bite from Paul Boateng at the same time. Almost send credibility. So you can see clearly, so the MPP government taking instructions from Gabi Asochidako and the Jubilee House. No, it is a simple thing. Let's use the special prosecutor's office to hunt from Paul Boateng and the termites. The political insects like these guys, they will all run to court and do what? Say they want to sue him. This is from Paul Boateng. Around the world, every single surgeon read about him. I'm telling you. Because you cannot read about surgeons around the world in Africa without hearing the name Professor Kobna from Paul Boateng. So, technically, 99% of surgeons in the world, they have read about the African surgeon. But this is a special prosecutor who in his eyes sees Professor Frimpong Boateng as nobody because somebody has given him power to make sure he abuses that power. So he says, while arrested Frimpong Boateng cannot go home. He needs somebody to bail him. And what wrong did Frimpong Boateng do? The wrong he did was that he wrote a report when he was given a job to expose criminals in Ghana. Now, our special prosecutor, when you listen to him very well, his youthful exuberance and his political affiliations, it's not allowing him to become a special prosecutor. You know why? Now, Professor Frimpong Boateng, the special prosecutor Gina so kase obia ye born the deal of Frimpong Boateng a document and a report the special prosecutor say he is going to do what? Call everyone and then arrest everyone and prosecute everyone, or basically investigate everyone. The moment you hear or you heard or I heard the special prosecutor open his mouth to say that 36-page document, every single person whose names was mentioned, or Baba Freno to investigate and if possible arrest, that was the day I realized that the special prosecutor is going on a fishing expedition. He has no plan. What the special prosecutor wants to do is say, he's just going on a fishing expedition. He doesn't have any idea what he wants to do with this case. He has no focus. He's basically using his office to feel present in everybody's life, but he does not have a plan. And the strategy is, in the first place, when he was brought into this matter, to come and muddy the water. Everybody is a suspect, but nobody is a suspect. And that is what the special prosecutor of Ghana is trying to do. Somebody say, Kevin, you can use NOVDEC to go to Gimpa. You will have to go to a senior high school to be able to ride NOVDEC. Let's also go back there. I've done my job. But say, before you can write NOVDEC, you should have enrolled in a senior high school before you can write NOVDEC. And so the special prosecutor does not have a plan. As we speak now, everybody is a suspect and nobody is guilty. Everybody is guilty and nobody is a suspect. That is what he's doing now. Now, let us go and listen to the special prosecutor. This special prosecutor is political. What he's doing about this Professor Frimpong Boateng case is very political. It is basically to tame or mute people. His strategy is simple, is to help the Jubilee House silence the system through his office. People like Gabi, people like Captain Koda, people like Lord Kombe, Ekufuado, his own family members, people like Ojo Ponkruma, his best friend Kweku Bako, and all the people who are mentioned in the report, they are trying to find tactical means to muddy the water so that everybody becomes a suspect, but nobody becomes the culprits. Now let's listen to the special prosecutor. What he's doing right now is very political. Look at this. Listen to him very well.
Now, in our case, there's been allegations against these officers who sat at the inter-ministerial committee. The head of the committee, the secretary to the committee, and other officers. And then the dealings of the committee were interfacing with those who were accused of being in the business of or the adventure of illegal mining. And so this is the point we are coming from. Now, if the accusations against you that you seized excavators and you are unable to account for it, I won't sleep over it. I'll come after you. Now, if there are allegations against you that you seized gold nuggets belonging to someone and as a public officer you pocketed it, I won't sleep over it. I'm coming after you. The allegations that you mismanaged the resources of the committee, I won't sleep over it. I'll come after you. At the end of the day, if I weigh the evidence against you and I come to the conclusion that there's nothing to it, then I let go. But in the middle of the investigation, in the course of the investigation, I treat everyone the same. Mind you, at the office of the special prosecutor, we do not consecrate saints. And let me make this very clear. No one is a saint to us. No one is an angel as far as we are concerned. When we start investigating a case, we're looking at everybody and everywhere. Now,
so this is his first statement. I'll say, if you're a public official who was mentioned in the document, or for excavator, or for a gold nugget, or for a DN, he's going to come after you. This is a broad net. This is a broad net. When we talk about Operation Vanguard, we are not talking not less than 1,000 people. When we talk about Stop Gala Stop, we are not talking less than 500 people. When we are talking about people who seize excavators, we are talking about police, army coming together with security, private security forces from the government, seizing excavators. So we are talking about, a special prosecutor who does not have a direction. A special prosecutor who is basically going fishing, going out on an expedition without having a specific focus. That's why I keep telling you, his job now is to just come and muddy the waters, and nobody, especially those who are supposed to be found guilty, they will walk. Now, he made a statement that at the special prosecutor's office, no one is a saint before them. That means the special prosecutor himself, he had already taken a decision before he entered his office. What happened to that statement of not guilty unto proven unto proven guilty? Now, the issue here is, if you're a special prosecutor, you have a law background, and you sit in the office of the special prosecutor, and every single person you call, you already have in your head that that person is a criminal. You, by all means, at the end of the day, falsify something out of your perception. Because, when we're talking about perception, when your perceptions are not clear, your perception can eat into, at the end of the day, your reasoning power. So if I don't like you, automatically I don't like you, and you enter my territory, The issue is, even though I'm a police officer, I'm supposed to be professional. I already have that perception that I don't like you. So the moment you enter my territory, you are a suspect, and I'll find ways to make you a suspect. Even though you might not be guilty of anything, but because I've already harbored that idea, that perception. So you're sitting at the special prosecutor's office and saying anyone who enters the special prosecutor's office is not saint, meaning you classify everyone who comes here for questioning as a criminal. And at that point, no matter the answer the person gives you, you already have your doubts that the person is lying to you. So you end up going after people, and it will turn into witch hunt. His last statement is dangerous. It is dangerous because as a special prosecutor or as an investigator, even as an investigator, I have not been to law school. I wrote my law school entrance exam 2012 or 13 or something in New York, my LSAT. So I will not sit here and pretend as if I've entered law school in America. I haven't. My in-laws all have their law firms. I can still go and do law. I don't want to do it. But I want you to understand that when they talk about logical reasoning, this is where the logical reasoning comes in. The special prosecutor is telling you that everyone in that document, no matter who you are, by the time you enter his office, he already sees you as a criminal. So come and justify yourself. How do you justify yourself in front of a man whose perception and his brains already is telling him that you are a criminal? So we need to understand that we have a special prosecutor who does not know his job. I said, this guy operate. He needs to understand law. Investigations, they are delicate, a delicate place when you are handling. You remember when a special prosecutor was put together, prosecutor's office was put together in America against Donald Trump and his campaign team. At the end of the day, the special prosecutor in his first press conference, he made Americans know who he's going after. Our special prosecutor does not know what he's going after. Our special prosecutor has been given a job to do. Go and look for something. He does not know what he's looking for. The American prosecutor came and classified the job. Michael Cohen is going to be here. This Donald Trump is going to be here. They make you know that at the end of the day, there are some figures they are looking at. You cannot pick the 36 page document and tell me everyone who enters your office is not a saint. You are not a special prosecutor. You don't know the law. You don't know the investigations. You are speaking out of youthful exuberance. You want people to hear you. Now listen to the special prosecutor again.
I respect the credentials of the professor, and I doff off my hat to him. You know very well, you know me personally, you know very well how and my life's trajectory. On another score, I'm an academician myself, and so I respect such people on all scores. I mean, his CV is unbelievable. I respect that, and I applaud him for that. But I have a charge to keep. The charge I have to keep is to the Republic of Ghana and to the public. I have been put in this position to investigate corruption and corruption-related offenses. I've been put in this office to prosecute people who I deem to be culpable for such offenses. I have been put in this office to recover assets for the country. I have been put in this office to prevent corruption. These are the 4 tasks that I have until August 2028. Now, when a case comes before me, first, it's a preliminary investigation. I go under with my officers. Is there any substance to this matter? I'm answering your question. I'll come to it.
Sure.
Is there any substance to this matter? Now, when the preliminary investigation is over, I have certain options. One option is to say, there's no meat in this matter. Let us just file it away. Maybe one day it may not be cold. Another option open to me is that there is a lot of wisdom in opening a full investigation, and so we should do a broader and fuller inquiry into this matter. And this is where we are. And the OSP, at least since I have been in charge of it, is not a weapon for settling scores. The OSP does not settle scores. The OSP does not settle scores on behalf of people and for people. You think no one offended me before I became the special prosecutor? Why then don't I use my power and go back and start making a list of all the people who crossed me or the people who fell out of favor with me, and I start going after them? That is not how you conduct business. That is not how you do things. And I do not live in isolation. Yes, I've had friends. Yes, I have friends. I keep saying, anytime I get opportunity, the Honorable Attorney General is a friend of mine. He's my mate. You know very well. We sat together in the same class for a long time, and we had association for a very long time. And that doesn't mean I'm going to settle scores for any named individual. Now, if you have your fight with someone in court, that is your kettle of fish. And something. It is because of such suggestions. That's why I characterize the timing as a luckless, one of luckless coincidence. Maybe if on my list in October 2022, I had called the professor first on my list, we wouldn't be saying this, would we? Or if I had waited and then in December 2023, if we are still in the course of the investigation, I had called him, we won't be talking about this, would we? But God forbid that I will be used to settle scores on behalf of someone or another. The government of the day does not and cannot instruct me to go after people or to embarrass them. No one has even tried that before.
Matramidu said more than this. The question I have for this special prosecutor and his posture, with all due respect, I've not met him before, so I cannot sit here and judge him. But from his demeanor, his attitude of, I know everything, Ghana has given me power to 2028. I work with some kind of principles. I don't go against people I don't like. I know all the law. The question to this man is, since he became the special prosecutor, has he been able to save Ghana one peswa? Has he been able to settle one state case, one case, since he became the special prosecutor? Special prosecutor, you have to be careful. The question I want to ask my honorable special prosecutor, and I say, you have been in office all these years. Have you been able to settle one case since you took office? Every day, Otam Dumpe no atafre hono de atoho. Otam Dumpe we no atafre hono de atoho. Otam Dumpe we no atafre hono de atoho. Ye busa se adena Dumpe no mbuma o so we de metafre hono na ho anwuno. Intime sa betafre. Sa na wo ye. Every time you pick a bone, you lick it, you put it down. Every single day you pick a bone, you lick it, you put it down. Every day you pick another bone, you lick it, you put it down. We question you, why are you not chewing the bone? You tell us, you always keep telling us, oh, the bone, the moment you licked it, you realize that it was a little bitter on the outside. So you want it to sit for some time. Maybe the bitterness will go away. And this is what the special prosecutor is doing. Now let's go to your issues. See, this special prosecutor, since he came into office, from what we are seeing now, and from what he's telling us, and from the principles he says he works with, and from him trying to let us believe that he's the most honest person in that office, and that he isn't using his office to protect people, let us go back and let me show you something. We still have something like the Sputnik vaccine issue. The special prosecutor has left that matter. We have the recent ambulance issue in Dubai. The special prosecutor has refused to speak on it. Now, do you know why this special prosecutor is dangerous? Do you know why all that he's saying on Newsfile or he said on Newsfile is a lie? Do you know why we keep saying that he's selective and he's actually protecting some people and he is being manipulated by the Jubilee House in this specific case? Gabi Asotredakon, the Jubilee House, they are making him take this case and they are manipulating him how to conduct this investigation. Now see this. What is wrong, right? All right, let's do this. This is a special prosecutor's document. Do you remember La Bianca? La Bianca. We were here when La Bianca, she's an importer, broke the law. This special prosecutor was talking about principles, not using his office to protect people or to go after people. La Bianca, report of investigation into alleged commission of corruption and corruption-related offenses involving La Bianca Group of Companies and the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority. Kenneth Damois, La Bianca evaded tax. The boss of customs was involved. His subordinates were all involved. Now let's go into the special prosecutor's own report and ask him that report and this Professor Frimpong Boateng's report, which one is more clearer for him to take action, for him to, at the end of the day, arrest and demand bail? I'll see. When you read his report and you go to page 9, there are some interesting facts there. When you read the page 9 in his own report, when you go to point 4.30, this is what he writes there. The OSP finds that Mr. Eduche's decision to issue customs advance ruling to the applicants La Bianca, resulted in a short collection of or shortfall in revenue in the amount of 1,074,000 cedis, 627 cedis, 27 cedis, 15 pesos. From a total of 500,000, from a total of 531 declarations in respect of La Bianca. Or see, from onwangas investigations, you know. We investigations, who say, a officer ba kwa your friend of Mr. Eduche, you know. Boa La Bianca. Emma La Bianca evade taxes. Not taxes, no. And no boy esi 1.74 million Ghana cedis. Now, sa 1.47 million Ghana cedis, no. A transaction kwa 531 transactions and omubenya 1.74 million custom officers and La Bianca company no e ka omutibo ho omudi bo Ghana dream on one report. Now he goes on to say this. Therefore, it lies ill in Mr. Eduche's mouth to claim that he saved the Republic financial loss by his conduct, and his claimed basis for his decisions are unsupportable afterthought. Or see, Mr. Eduche no ejitumu said the why no sebio oye edeboa Ghana nanso no special prosecutor no hu say adia oye no adia sebio edi Ghana dream. 4.31. The office of the special prosecutor finds that though Colonel retired Damois sought to distance himself from Mr. Eduche's decision during his interview on the 16th of February 2022, he gave his tacit approval to the decision and the determination stood to the benefit of the applicant. Or see, Colonel Damois so yetu yensa friend no emane ba office of the special prosecutor officer ebe an interview no. Kena Damwana or pese or chini hu free kronona esinim. If we say, Omotutu nanono, Kena Damwa momuti asye se, de eye the officers ye no eye Mr. Eduche ye no eye adie bia sebio eye krono a ebua la Bianca. We office of the special prosecutor La Bianca assembly by no, he is stating facts, he is stating crime, he is stating involvement of public officials involved in a crime. Now when you go down, he says the half-hearted seeming recantation is unhappily belated and does not absolve Colonel Damwa of ultimate responsibility for the apparently contrived decision. Or see, dear na Mr. Duye no ebo Ghana sebio yesika sama eko benefit La Bianca no over 1 million no. Colonel Damwa was se oti asie se wa bo Ghana krono eye dream no ono a supporti. So the office of the special prosecutor in his own report, he admitted that Edu and Damwa, they have committed a crime. Did he arrest them? Because Damwa was working for the Jubilee House. Edu was working for the Edu was working for the Jubilee House. The question is, let us put these two stories on the table. You are clearly telling us that public officials were involved. They knew it. It was intentional. They committed a crime to make La Bianca benefit over 1 million. But you refuse to do what? Arrest them and bail them. These people went into a special prosecutor's office and he told them to walk. Professor Frimpong Boati wrote a report and submitted to the president. But special prosecutor said he studied the report and he sees that Frimpong Boati has committed a crime, which part nobody knows. But he thinks some things were missing. Some excavators were seized. So Frimpong Boati is a person of interest. So he needs to be billed 2 million Ghana cedis. Colonel Damwa was not arrested, even though you yourself, you admitted in your own report that he had committed or overseen a crime that was conducted at the port. Now, I'm sure idea. In the same La Bianca report, Mama Chama a special prosecutor is a liar. This basically the Jubilee House Gabi instructions. Why didn't he arrest Damwa? Because you stated money that were taken from us and somebody benefiting. So why was Che Damwa? Why didn't you arrest them? Because that one was connected to the Jubilee House. Because La Bianca is a Council of State member. And I'm just saying, Jimmy On. You people, you wear some Vietnam suits and you sit on TV. You, the special prosecutor, 52 billion Ghana cedi before 2020 is sitting there. You have not touched it. Now look at page 10. He's playing favoritism at the special prosecutor's office. All that he was doing there, he was nervous because he knows that the people who can read and understand and break things down know that he's just playing a joke there. Now, Oko page 10 in his own report, make sure how specific he was, how he told us that they have committed a crime. What stopped him from arresting Damwa? What stopped him from arresting La Bianca? What stopped him from arresting them and asking for bail? Because they are connected directly to the Jubilee House. Today, Colonel Damwa is contesting for NPP seat as an MP. Now, when you read the page 10, this is his own report. The OSP finds that there is strong evidence. Listen. The office of the special prosecutor finds that there is strong evidence to suggest that Mr. Eduche's decision to issue a customs advance ruling for the applicant was procured through influence peddling or trading of influence by Mrs. Asumahene by the employing by employing her position as a member of the Council of State and a member of the Board of Directors of Ghana Port and Harbour Authority. In your own report, you made it emphatic that LaBianca basically did what? Used his influence to peddle. Used his influence to get some favor. She used her influence as a member of the Council of State and the Board of Directors, member of the Board of the Port and Harbour. So you stated that there was clear evidence. Why didn't you arrest LaBianca? Why didn't you bring LaBianca in, put arrest on her for her to be bailed? Even though you stated that you have strong evidence. What strong evidence do you have against Frimpong Boateng? You are still on an expedition. You are still trying to call 1,000 people, but you've been able to arrest him. So why didn't you arrest LaBianca? Why didn't you arrest the woman? Can you imagine sitting on TV and showing arrogance? Can you imagine? Do you people think we are all like Chairman to be? Now, when you go to the next paragraph, 4.34, me bechiremu adikudienti a special prosecutor obwa Gabi ekufuado na asha disa onye di oye no. My question is, were they above the law? Were you not using the same principles? Why didn't you say they are also arrested? They are under arrest because you yourself said in your report that you have strong evidence. If you have strong evidence, why didn't you arrest them? Me, I don't hate anybody. I pick your own stuff and I break it down for you to understand. You didn't know this will come one day. You thought you were saving LaBianca to work after she duped Ghana. You thought we are stupid. About Professor Frimpong Boateng, you are stating principles. Why didn't you apply the same principle when LaBianca and Kenodamwa and Che were in front of you? Now, my mention the Kudientia special prosecutor cannot be trusted. The 4.34, the OSP further finds that the conduct of Mr. Eduche, and the placid coddling by Kenodamwa portends an institutionalized culture of light-hearted unconcerned regarding impropriety of action at the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority, which indicates a high propensity to engender corruption and corruption-related activities. Or see, from evidence now, Special Prosecutor Nekaso, conduct of Kenodamwa any Mr. Cheino. That conduct conduct be a sebio edidi Ghana Revenue Authority ni muache adibia o ma pe ono no evidence ekutano no. So from what you are seeing, he has more, or he had more reason to arrest these people for people to bail them. He had every reason to say, Damwa, you have to be arrested. LaBianca, you have to be arrested. Che, you have to be arrested and meet bail. But the special prosecutor chose to let them walk. But Professor Frimpong Boateng, who wrote a report that the special prosecutor has no emphatic evidence against, today is saying that he needs 2 million Ghana cedis before he can meet bail to go home. Now, when you go to the direction, the final part, the direction, this is what he says. And this is coming from the same man you were listening to. He says, on 21st March 2022, the special prosecutor issued an interim directive to LaBianca Company Limited to pay an amount of 1,074,000 cedis, 1,074,000. Now, it goes on to say this. Representing the short collection or shortfall of revenue arising from issuance of the unlawful custom advance ruling by the Deputy Commissioner for Customs in charge of operations, or C. or no special prosecutor no, or no jabin kusi jabino. What he did, instructions on my, and after the strong evidence and ekutano said Damwa committed crime, La Bianca committed crime, Eduche committed crime no. Or who said crime when you know one chibako cry, and Osama directive in the same. Or my directive said a year special prosecutor issued an interim directive to La Bianca. Or no ma La Bianca directive said on Sikanema customs. On Sikanema or non office no. In fact, it wasn't to customs. On my instructions say La Bianca na she has committed a crime no. On one Sikanema. The question is the special prosecutor an auditor? Is the special prosecutor an auditor? Your job is to investigate and prosecute. How can you, at the end of the day, as an investigator, decide which amount or how much amount La Bianca, who has committed a crime against the state, should pay to It is not your duty. It is not your duty, because if La Bianca skips $1 a day against Ghanaians, in the next 3 days, that dollar is no more $1. And so La Bianca owes us more than 1.7 million. So you cannot tell us that you, the special prosecutor sitting in your office, after coming out clearly to tell us that Damwa has committed a crime, Eduche has committed a crime, La Bianca has committed a crime, La Bianca should go back and pay. You are just a prosecutor. You are not an auditor. Your job does not go to that extent. Your job is to find crime and prosecute crime. You found crime and you skipped crime and you try to solve the crime. You are not a special prosecutor. You are basically there protecting criminals. Now, when you go to the last statement, it says, Mr. Joseph Eduche into the asset recovery account of the Office of the Special Prosecutor. La Bianca should pay the money into Special Prosecutor's account, who, at the end of the day, audit the Special Prosecutor. Your job is simple. The principles you were stating, where did the principles go when this matter came? You are a liar. It's exactly 6:54 p.m. In Ghana, it is 11:54 p.m. I'll take a short break, come back, pick calls like 5-7 minutes, and end today's show. You're still watching. With all due respect, extended version, my name is Kevin Akobedu Taylor. I'll be right back after these Jandam stories.
When your GMPC board nada so kawanu tum neda so. You, I'm telling you, you know I know. V8 in Assembly, V8 no Assembly, you know I know. I am coho. Ya two abawi minu mienu nyina na na timimos ye bojandam. Ya isaade na moye no emwa.
Hilary John Muhammad ye woye okita PhD in corruption. Hilary ye onukta BS.
Nice one.
Seven money BS.
Nice one.
Because what Africa I say, ye just say a him for na ye akromfo, amampeni for him for na ye akromfo no. Jacob Zuma ni abo John Mahama. What does it? Chronofita. Ye bo micro no. Yes, sisika left, center, right, and you know, just say papa no aden. Minia, me do what I say. And I do me come our first house. Still MDC colors.
My never say PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, or see them, yopo.